Welcome, everybody. This is Frame This Podcast. I'm Phil.
My name is Nate.
And we are here with Keith. I'm going to butcher your last name like I do everybody's.
Is it Kuzura?
Kuzara.
Kuzara. Is that Japanese?
I've been asked that before, but no, I guess it's Polish.
Polish? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a badass Polish name.
You are the second.
Thanks.
The second Polish guest we've had on this show.
That's true, and I butchered the first one, and now she's going to haunt me forever.
Was it a ski? What did it end with ski?
Oh, yeah.
It was Zuski. It was
Olszewski.
Olszewski.
It's Olszewski, yeah. I'm never going to live that down.
Oh, yeah?
That's immediately Polish.
It had a ski in it. It's immediately Polish. Yeah. I have a lot of family friends that are Japanese, and so Kuzura was like the first.
Yeah, not the first time.
Really? That's great icebreaker though. So Keith is a tattoo artist and a clothing line owner in New York. I've been talking to him on Instagram off and on about just artwork, apparel tips and tricks. But for this conversation, I'd like to dig a little bit more deeply into like how long you've been tattooing, what gravitated you towards that unique and ever-growing art form. So could you tell us a little bit about your growth as an artist and how that journey might have gotten started?
Yeah. I started tattooing a little over 10 years ago.
Hot
So
damn.
it was 10 years this past January. I started when I was. Thank you.
Welcome to your decade.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's been a journey. Yeah, I actually turn 30 November 2nd, so I've got 10 years under my belt before 30, which is I always think is pretty cool.
That is wild.
Yeah, I started when I was 19. It's definitely been a journey. I guess I just always thought tattoos were super cool. I got my first one with a couple buddies. Figured this is pretty rad. I'm interested in this. You know, I always did some drawing as a kid growing up, and in high school I actually had a bit of a computer graphics type background.
What about tattooing like stuck out to you? Like, why was it something that your mind just went like, I want to do that, like specifically?
I guess I was always drawn more towards kind of like punk rock and metal music, and I feel like tattoos just kind of go hand in hand with the whole style. So I was just right away drawn to tattoos, and I figured that would be an awesome profession to go for.
Do you have an opinion on tattooing your own work on somebody else versus like someone coming to you with an image that they would like?
Yeah, so I draw all my own custom work. I definitely don't tattoo anybody else's work. There are some instances where I feel like it is okay to tattoo other work, but not copy somebody else's tattoo. So if you're replicating, maybe a famous painting or something of that nature, or it's a small, logo type tattoo, like an infinity symbol or something like that, I feel like that's totally okay. But if you're giving me a tattoo reference of somebody else's tattoo, I'll definitely draw my own custom version of that. So you get your completely own tattoo.
Yeah. Do you ever have like other creative people come to you with like a sketch that they want and then like you make it your own, or do you like refer to them on what they want, like more specifically, because it is going to be on their body for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll always make a suggestion. as far as what I think is going to look best. I do like direction though. So if somebody gives me too much freedom, I'm not as into that. As long as I have a little bit of direction, I can at least kind of run with it. But yes, I mean, if somebody brings in a sketch in, I can kind of run with that. And I'll get a somewhat of an idea of, what they're looking for.
That's awesome. What is your like daily upkeep look like? So like for me as an artist, I feel like I always have to be drawing something to kind of like keep that muscle memory like going. Like, what does like the daily sketchbook look like for you? Do you keep flashes, or are you always working on like a big project?
Yeah, I tattoo a lot of just custom pieces, so I'm constantly working on that stuff for clients. Um, yeah, I don't usually have a ton of time to just draw up flash, but if I do have free time, I definitely love to, just draw something of my own and see if somebody wants that tattooed. But generally nightly, I'll actually draw on my iPad. So I use Procreate. So I'll just sketch on there with the Apple Pencil.
Yeah.
That's I've been using it for years at this point. So it's just second nature to use that.
Have you gotten into Paperlike yet?
No, with the screen.
Yeah, the screen protector.
Yeah, no, I haven't used that yet.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Is it? Yeah, I got so used to just drawing on the screen that I didn't even try it out.
Yeah, I've used it for a little bit over a month now, and it definitely changes like the texture of the feel.
Yeah, you're liking it.
Yeah, so far. I've tagged them in so many things, just waiting for that
trying to get sponsored,
affiliate marketing.
Trying to get sponsored.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, share my post,
please.
Has the infinity tattoo come and gone?
Yeah.
Thank God. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing them.
Well, I'm definitely seeing a lot less of them, but they definitely are still being done. But hey, some people prefer smaller, one-off tattoos. I prefer larger artistic pieces, and that's okay. Everybody's got their preference.
What is the? This is gonna sound like a really weird question.
We've had some today, so
like the ghost and
the ghost, yes, the ghost and
throwing clay,
the pottery. Yeah.
What is the tramp stamp of the 2010s?
Oh man,
tramp stamp of the 2010s.
You know how it used to be like the lower back, and then it moved to like the under boob, like mandala.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the under boob tattoos. Those definitely came up. Those have been the new popular tramp stamp, I guess.
That's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I love following trends, not necessarily that one in particular, but
like I don't know why that got started. I don't know like why that term was used. I don't know why, but I just whatever.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I guess
that sounds like Phil has one.
You don't know that. I haven't lost a bet yet or a fantasy football season where that was on the line.
Can we see?
Maybe later. No,
sounds good.
I have 0. Nate has more than I do. I'm about to embark on that long process of getting some tats and figuring it out. But
awesome.
What does the planning process for something like that look like for you? I know digital has definitely been a game changer for me because you can churn out sketches and revise things literally infinitely. I've run into some picky customers, but like, what is the like when someone's like, I want you to do something for me, how does that work for someone who's doing something so finite and like final?
Yeah, so I guess my process these days kind of just starts with an email. So a client will email me, and I actually have like a application form that you fill out and gives me a general idea of what you're looking for, some reference pictures, a picture of where you're looking to put it, and all that will help me design, what you're looking for. So I'll draw a piece to fit an actual spot on the body. So at that point, appointment's booked, and I'll just sketch something up on the iPad, have something ready to go for a client for the day of their appointment.
So you're at the point of your career where people tend to like let you, craft something from start to finish and essentially trusting you with the final product.
Yeah, I
That's
definitely
really cool.
don't run into too many issues these days where somebody wants to completely change something that I drew up, because I try to get as best of an idea as possible for what they are looking for, so that we don't run into that kind of issue, I guess. So there are a couple instances here and there where changes have to be made, but generally people are totally cool and they know and trust my work, so they just go for it.
What is God, I lost that question. It was right there.
I got one. It's real weird.
Go for it. I had a question that was right there.
Phil's getting me time. Have you ever had to tattoo somebody's like dead cat on them, and like say in loving memory of like Fluffy?
Yeah. I like doing memorial tattoos, actually.
Like a granny. There's like a granny come in and be like, "I want my cat tattooed.
Yeah,
This is my dying wish."
It definitely happens. Yeah, we have clients of all ages. We actually have a client who started coming to us as a shop a few years back, and he was in his 70s when he got his first tattoo from us.
Damn, badass.
His first tattoo was of his cat that passed away, and he hasn't stopped coming to us since. His legs are all full up. He's got his knees tattooed, couple on his arms.
How long has this been?
Awesome.
Wow.
Few years. It has to have been 6 years he's been coming in the shop now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess he just I like the idea of getting tattoos, but like I'd like to understand like his psychology like behind it. Like what about it? Like he keeps coming back. He just loves it so much he just wants more.
Yeah, I mean, he's just an awesome guy.
I mean, I look at you, you got tattoos all over you, and you love it, but then just like some guy in his 70s who's lived most of his life without a tattoo, and then he just got one day and said, "Oh, I'm gonna get another. I really like how these look. I'm gonna get another."
I think one day he just kind of said, "Fuck it." He's like, "I want to go get a tattoo." Like, he's like, "What better than to start with, tattoo of my cat?" One day, so I did a piece on him. This dude's super funny. So I was tattooing like a traditional Kraken piece on him, and within the Kraken tattoo, he wanted the gym that he goes to, their logo, like in the middle of it. So I was just, talking with him. I was like, "So what do they call you? The Iron Octopus?" He said, "No, they call me asshole."
Oh, I know that. I go by that a lot.
This dude is wild, man.
That's hilarious.
I love tattoos. Yeah.
Like his nickname at the gym is ass. I'm working here.
I mean, I guess like the relationships you build with clients and customers, I guess is like your bread and butter. Like that's really what it comes down to, building that trust and building that relationship. As an artist, especially when putting something permanent on somebody's body. So, I mean, more power to you, dude. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of regular clients that I did their, maybe I did their first tattoo or I did a tattoo for them, and they keep coming through because they just want to be covered, I guess. So
if it wasn't 12 fucking hours to your studio.
That's true. I know, Nate, you wanted to go up to New York for your birthday.
He's
I know.
8 hours from the city.
Are you in upstate?
Western New York. So we're like super close to the border of Canada.
So you're a Bills fan, I'm guessing.
I don't follow football.
That's fine. You don't have to talk about it. That's fine. We don't have to talk about it. That's fine.
Please no.
Yeah, I don't follow, but everybody's a Bills fan from Buffalo.
I'm a Pats fan, so I was just gonna go like, it's your division now, guys. You can take it. We're screwed. Keep getting COVID.
How do you I found that with some artists, monetizing their artwork takes the fun out of it to some degree. How do you manage like the business of making yourself marketable versus still enjoying the actual act of creating?
It can definitely get overwhelming at times. If you're doing too much of anything, I feel like it can sour it. So I definitely worked for a period where I was working too much and I started getting sour on tattooing, where I was like, this is starting to feel like a job. I'm super tired. I'm not super into this anymore. But I love tattooing, so I knew something was wrong. So I kind of cut back a little bit and started working, a day or two less a week. And, that love totally came back. So, too much of anything and, it'll totally ruin it.
How is that, or like, given current state of affairs, has your art and your stuff you produced increased, or you seen a decrease in production and drawings and like being creative?
Yeah. So as far as the COVID-19 situation, because of precautions and whatnot with our shop, we have 9 artists. So if everybody's tattooing, there's already 18 people in the shop. It becomes a party. So we kind of can't do that.
Right.
So everybody's splitting their schedules up at this point. Everybody's working fewer days. The business is definitely there. More people want to get tattooed, but we can't work as much. So it's a little harder to get everybody in.
Gotcha. Just you personally, have you noticed like yourself, like wanting to draw more, wanting to create more, or have you seen a decrease in that drive given this current circumstances? Sorry, I didn't clarify before.
Yeah, no worries. I wouldn't say an increase or decrease. It's pretty much the same. I don't think it's affected that at all.
I know we were talking with someone this morning that produced 20 pieces of art in 6 months, and I was just, someone's been productive.
Yeah, a lot of people. I saw a lot of artists being super productive. I actually took quite a break, and I felt a little guilty about taking a break from artwork, but I think I needed it, honestly. I feel a lot better having, after 10 years of just nonstop. I was off of work for 4 months and it felt good.
Taking care of yourself, yes, is very important. And we want to stress that to everyone out there, that if you need to take a break, take a break.
I'm still coming down from mine.
Because if you love something, if you truly love something, you can always step back from it for a while and you can pick it right back up.
Yeah. Too much cake, you're going to get a stomach ache.
I love cake.
Or scotch.
Yep.
Oh, let's not talk about my birthday again, Nate. Please, no.
Do you use traditional media, or have you stuck pretty much to the iPad?
I definitely drew on paper for a long time until the digital thing came around. I don't even know why I tried it. I thought it just seemed super cool when I made the switch to the iPad. I miss the feeling of paper sometimes, like you were talking about, that the screen protector that feels like paper. That's definitely has its own magic to it. But I think just the convenience of switching to the iPad has just been such a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been using mine for about 2 years, and it's been I've drawn more and more consistently with that than I did with a sketchbook, which is weird. I know some artists like can't give up the pencil and paper, but I'm just like, but it's right here. You can,
Yeah, so the convenience of it. So I'll be sitting up in bed. I can just grab the iPad, toss it in my lap, and sketch in it. But Sketchbook's a little bit more difficult to do that. Like I'll pop on Netflix or something, and I'll be watching The Office in the background, and I'll just like draw up my tattoos for the week or whatever. So it's super comfortable and convenient.
Do you have a go-to Office episode?
That's really hard. That's a really hard question.
I start from number one and just let it roll all the way. However, I do not enjoy when Will Ferrell comes into the office. I feel like it's just terrible when that happens. I don't know if you're familiar, but
was that season 6?
I stopped around season 4.
Season 6 or 7. I just started season 4 with my girlfriend right now. We're going through it. When we hang out, we watch The Office together, and I just started season 4. And I think for me, season 4 has to be the best because I think like the jokes just hit, like everything's.
Yeah.
Like
so you haven't watched all of it yet?
No.
Okay.
But
I won't ruin it then.
No, I've seen like the later episodes when Michael leaves and he goes and stays with Holly, and then all the other bosses come in. It's just like this revolving door. I must say that when Kathy Bates comes on, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Her and her dogs are with her. The Great Danes are with her.
Yeah, that was a good time in the show for sure. I like Will Ferrell like as his own actor. I like his movies, but when he goes into The Office, he's just got like a different style of comedy that did not mesh well, in my opinion.
I thought everything was like ad-libbed and improvised. No, that actually a lot of that stuff was scripted for them to say, which I thought was like, it doesn't feel like a scripted show at times, but it is.
It was probably a mesh.
I've definitely heard of a few scenes where they just did their own thing, like went off script, and it's like it's just crazy. I heard Creed. I heard he just kind of acts like himself. I heard he doesn't even have a script half the time. I don't know if that's true.
That's great because he probably has some of the best lines, like when he just like interjects himself, or he does like his on camera, or what are the solo interviews. Like, yeah, I was in a cult once. I was the leader, and I was also the follower. But it's more fun being the follower. But leader's pretty cool too.
Dude, I love Creed.
I was always a Community fan. That was my Office, and I could rewatch that show ad nauseum.
6 seasons gets a little tough.
Called Community, with it was the show that the writer of Rick and Morty did before Rick and Morty.
Oh really? Yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's on Netflix right now. Shameless plug.
Okay.
It's got Donald Glover, Chevy Chase, Joel McHale, Allison Brie,
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Ken Jeong. It's just about community college shenanigans. All of the episode titles are like fake class names, and it's hilarious.
I'll have to check it out.
Let's get through like the first 2 seasons. That was one of my COVID shows because now we have COVID shows, not just shows anymore. We have COVID shows that we've binged. But yeah. Enough about The Office and art, or enough about The Office and shows. Let's get back to the art.
Oh yeah,
because I know we could literally sit here and talk about The Office and for probably hours.
Really simple question is: do you prefer black and white or color?
I like doing both for sure, but I'd say color is my preference.
Yeah.
I don't like doing the same thing every day, so I like to switch it up, honestly.
So this is going to be a super tattoo ignorant question on my part. So when you do a piece, is it like painting where you like layer the colors and you have to like mix them in the skin, or do you have to like how does coloring something in a shaded pattern go for tattoos? Like how does that work?
I'll generally just start with black and go like dark to light. So you'll just kind of blend it from dark to light. I know with a lot of other art mediums, it's kind of sometimes it's backwards.
Yeah.
You'll start with light tones and then go darker, but and then there's no wrong technique, I guess. As long as it looks good, it looks good.
Yeah.
But my personal preference is just going from dark to light tone.
Do you like start with like the line work first and get like a holistic picture and then fill in the details as you go?
Yeah. So if it's like a traditional based piece, I'll definitely just rip the lines in first and then black shading, then color.
How I guess it depends on the customer's budget, but do you ever warn them that like this is gonna look like crap for like 3 months before it gets all filled in, and like let them know like how long it takes for something like that to like get finalized, or are they usually aware of the?
Yeah, I mean, I'll always walk a customer through the process, but sometimes you're doing a piece that's not, a one session and done kind of piece. Maybe it's a giant back piece and you've got to put a ton of sessions into it, and it kind of won't start coming together until you start doing some of the shading and the color. Lines, sometimes it doesn't look like much until you get all that dimension in there.
We were supposed to have a guy on today, and he forgot that he had a tattoo booked, and he showed me a picture of like
Nice.
his just whole chest is just like covered, and he was getting some shading filled in on his stomach. It's just
Dude, I don't know how you forget about that.
probably just calendar.
Yeah.
He's in a band and also runs a clothing line, so like lots of stuff going on.
Badass.
But
how long did it take you to feel confident in what you're doing as a tattoo artist?
Good question. Sometimes I still don't.
that just came to my mind right there. So there's sometimes you still don't. It's an ever going process. It's just a journey of trial and error.
It's an ever learning process because it's art, but definitely to gain any comfort was a good few years, probably 3 to 5 years. But there's definitely still some projects where it's out of my comfort zone. If it's too far out of my comfort zone, I'll let somebody know and I won't really take that on. But if it's just slightly out of my comfort zone, sometimes I'll take that on just to push the limits a little bit.
I guess that's more of an intuitive thing on your end, like deciding like whether or not like, yeah, like it's a cool idea, but I don't know if that's my particular like skill set to do that particular project. So you might want to like, do you have like a list of people that you can like send customers to that have like various different levels of style if you're not a good fit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just totally honest about it. I don't want to screw up somebody's tattoo and make them unhappy with it. So yeah, I just let them know. But yeah, like I said earlier, we have 9 artists in our shop and everybody's got a different style. So if the tattoo that person's looking for is the style we do at our shop, I'll send them to another artist at our shop. If not, I've got plenty of friends in other shops and artists that, kill all sorts of other styles as well.
Do you remember, we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine. Do you remember your first tattoo that you drew on someone? Do you remember that day?
Yeah. Yes.
Could you walk us and our listeners through it?
Oh God.
Do you remember what it was? How you were feeling that day?
Okay. It was a super sketchy situation. This was before I had any idea of what the correct approach to tattooing was. I was hanging out with a friend of mine and we were at somebody's house and they had a tattoo machine and they weren't a tattoo artist. They just had a machine.
I like where this is going already.
And we were drinking underage and it was my buddy's birthday and he was my best friend at the time. And we were just like playing with the machine and dude knew that I had like a drawing background, but I had no intentions in tattooing at that point. And he was like, dude, give me a tattoo. He's like, I want a tattoo for my birthday. This is what I want. I was like,
do it.
I don't know how to do that, man. Like, I don't want to do it. And he kept pressuring me. We were drinking more and more. And I think I hopped on YouTube at this point, but it was like early YouTube days. You know, it was had to have been like 2009. So there wasn't a lot on there. You know, there's a lot more on tattooing on YouTube now, but there was nothing. So I couldn't find anything. So I just pretty much just winged it as far as like setting the machine up, and super sketchy. Did this like skull and crossbones, like this little thing on my dude's arm, and it was just nasty looking, and it healed like shit. It was just terrible. Like,
I hope no one had to go to the hospital. No one had to go to the hospital, right?
No, it healed. He ended up being okay. It looked like shit, but it healed okay. You know, like no infections.
Okay, so that was your first tattoo you ever done. So what was like your most successful tattoo
I was
story?
about to ask that.
Okay, I'm glad sometimes we are on the same wavelength. So yeah, tell us about your like most successful tattoo, or like one you're most proud of.
Oh, geez. Well, okay.
I know the hot seat, man. We're putting you on the hot seat.
Maybe not my most like successful, like
or memorable, memorable.
Yeah. My most memorable tattoo. Got it. So one time this dude just like walked in the shop, just kind of came barging in the door, wanted to talk to me about his tattoo idea. So I think I was in the middle of a tattoo at that time. I took a break to talk to him, and he shows me this sketch that he did in pen on like a notepad piece of paper. Must have been like a Post-it note or something. And it's a drawing that he did. He said he was drunk. Now, he wasn't drunk when he came in the shop, so he was completely sober. And he showed me this drawing. It was a grizzly bear. One arm was a great white shark, and the other arm was a chainsaw.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So he sober-mindedly wanted this thing tattooed not only small, but across his entire chest.
Holy shit.
I booked the appointment for him, drew it up. The day of the appointment, I get a phone call. It was his mother. His mother called the shop, not mad or anything, but wanted to let me know that he had to cancel his tattoo appointment because he called her from jail.
Oh,
and wanted to make sure that she got a hold of me to cancel the appointment, but to let me know he still wants to get it tattooed and he plans on rescheduling as soon as he's out. So maybe several months later, he stops back in the shop, drops me another deposit, and wants to get this thing tattooed still. So I showed it to him, and he was all about it. Came in for the appointment, got it tattooed. End of story. We did this giant grizzly bear, one arm chainsaw, one arm great white shark, and it was coming out of like a giant skin rip in the middle of his chest. It was just wild.
That is fan-fucking-tastic. I couldn't even think of that.
Nope.
I couldn't even think of that, but that's freaking awesome.
Not sure if I'll ever beat that story.
That's ridiculous.
I just don't know how you like draw it and then like have the just the detail, because you're dealing with 3 different objects: a grizzly bear, which is different, you know, then a great white, and then a chainsaw. And I'm just I don't know how to draw, so I'm just like,
dude, I probably have a picture of it like deep in my Instagram somewhere. I'll have to pull it up and send it to you guys.
Yeah, we'll probably send you like a follow-up email, and we're gonna start using like a handful of different types of media just for like promotion and stuff. And it'd be cool to post some of your work on the podcast page, you know, like as a lead up to whenever this episode airs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
yeah, as I said, first tattoo artist. I think it would be really cool to plug your studio up in New York for anybody listening. And
Sounds good to me. I'll take the promotion.
the furthermost reaches of our
anything we can do to help. Do you get a lot of Canadians that come over?
Not a lot, but we definitely get some Canadians for sure. We're
Canucks.
like I said earlier, we're like right on the border, and my shop's actually in Niagara Falls. So there's Niagara Falls US side, and then there's Niagara Falls, Ontario. So just split by the border. And yeah,
I'm not going to Niagara Falls. I'm going to go to Keith's tattoo shops. Screw the water. I'm going to get a tattoo.
The actual falls are super cool. That's super pretty to see. Anything outside of the actual falls is just
touristy.
Not okay. It just sucks. Like, they don't take care of the city. Like, it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's trash. But Niagara Falls, Ontario, if you go to the Canadian side, if they ever open the border back up, that's super nice.
That was my plan for my birthday, was go back to my ancestral homeland in Quebec, but that didn't happen. But in a roundabout way, it kind of did, because I met my cousin strangely on an interview for I'm trying to volunteer with Big Brothers and Big Sisters in the DC area, and a girl that came on had the same last name as myself, and she was like, "Are you a cloutier?" And I'm like, "Yep." So just I give a shout out to my like third, fourth cousin removed, Danielle from Connecticut.
It's hilarious.
And like we've been emailing. I haven't emailed her this week, but she's been helping me track down more of my family and learning more about it, because I don't know anymore. My grandparents passed away. Well, I never knew my father's father. He had a botched heart surgery. So, and that doctor landed in jail. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like the heart surgeon that Daryl brings over to the U.S. Yakuza boss asked me to do heart surgery.
Yeah, he was from Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very good surgeon. I killed Yakuza boss on purpose.
Yeah, this one didn't do it on purpose. Yeah.
All right, on a less serious note. So people come to you for your style and the art that you bring to the table. How have you developed that and cultivated that throughout your artistic career? Has it just been natural, or do you like purposefully identify things you like to see and try to incorporate that into your artwork?
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration out there, I guess. So I was definitely more so drawn towards like traditional, neo-traditional imagery, just right off the gate, I guess, just because it has like a super strong, standout kind of look to it. So that's mostly like, when Instagram started popping off, I started following a ton of different artists, and they mostly did that kind of style. So, and there's so many artists out there now that are just like completely killing it. So there's definitely no lack of inspiration. It's insane. And I mean, I gotta say, Instagram's done great things for the tattoo community and definitely pushed artists like on their own.
Speaking of doing things for the tattoo community, has it do you think Instagram has had a hand to play in normalizing having tattoos over the past, decade or two, at least since you've been tattooing? I know when I was little, my grandfather said he would, whoop my ass if I ever got a tattoo, and he still doesn't know that I have some.
Yeah, it's definitely a generational thing for sure. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'd say Instagram's done a lot, because I mean, look at advertisements, look at music artists. There's tattoos everywhere, and media and social media, there's no shortage of that in everybody's faces, whether you like it or not. So it's definitely been normalized in the last 10 years more so than ever.
Was that a hurdle or a stigma that you had to overcome when you first started, whether it's, with your family or with people you grew up with that, it's like, yeah, that's not a good field to get into because, XYZ.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So there was always the stigma of, tattoos being related to, just like biker gangs and, criminals and things of that nature. So it took a long time, I feel like, and even maybe still today, for those things to get out of the minds of, the older generation. So that being said, there was a little bit of weariness when I started getting into tattooing and getting tattooed. My dad wasn't sure that was the route he wanted me to take. But once I started being able to pay the bills and kind of proving myself that it could be an actual career, it was pretty much good from there.
How is this the golden age of is this like the most popular tattoos have been in a very long time? Like as a part of culture and a part of people's lives, like this is the time to be a tattoo artist.
Yeah, I would think there's more tattoo artists like than ever before for sure. But I think it's just steadily been growing since it began. But like I was saying before, there's definitely no shortage of just tattoos in people's faces every day. It's in music, it's all over social media. So obviously it's going to draw more people to, wanting to do that as a career.
Do you ever get someone coming in wanting to do the barbed wire across their forehead like Post Malone?
Dude, Post Malone. No,
what has he done for the tattoo industry?
Dude, I honestly love Post Malone.
You're a sunflower.
I think he's done.
That's fine. Y'all can like Posty all you want. He's very successful and he does his own shit, and more power to him.
He's also younger than all three of us.
Thanks, Nate.
I think Post Malone's done like awesome things for the tattoo community, though. Honestly, more so probably for like the tattoo stigma, right? So dude's got like his whole face tattooed. He's got his head tattooed. He's got tattoos all over, right? But he's a super, super nice, genuine dude and an amazing artist. And, he shows that and everybody can see that. So as far as, banishing any last bit of stigma with, tattoos being directly related to gangs and violence and things of that nature, he's helping rid that completely, I think, being in the public eye.
Do you have you ever tattooed
Never
anyone
thought
famous?
We'd bring up Post Malone today, but here we go again, bringing up Post Malone in a conversation.
Dude, if there's somebody that that I'm going to tattoo that's famous, like A-list celebrity, I want to get in on Post Malone's face.
Yeah, that's limited real estate, man. You gotta.
Yeah, let me get just a little spot on there, Posty.
We can try to make that happen. Like
he came up, I think, every episode last time we recorded.
I guess so. I mean, because he's everywhere. He's a great promoter. I mean, it comes down to it. The guy knows how to market the shit out of himself. We need a hashtag, like Keith Tats Posty or something. We need to come up with something for a campaign.
Yeah,
to get you to tattoo his face.
Yeah,
I would like to be responsible for that happening, Nate. I would like to be responsible. Well, we would like to be responsible. But I think that'd be really fucking cool if we can get that done for you. We will try our best.
We'll have to get a hashtag going. Have you tattooed anyone famous before? Anybody coming through Niagara?
Yeah. I mean,
to stop and get a.
I mean, I haven't tattooed any A-list celebrities, but I've got friends in bands, that have tattooed, that are very popular, on record labels and whatnot. So
that's cool.
And it would be really cool if record labels had their own tattoo artists like in-house. So if you're like cutting a record and you want a tattoo, you just go to the house tattoo artist. Like if you're if lead singer is like doing his tracks and then you're just done, you're just hanging around the studio. And you're like, man, I really had this great idea for a tattoo. That day is never going to happen because the fucking music industry's gone to online sales and records don't sell anymore. But oh well.
Do you?
For sure.
Do you ever consider starting or joining a band in your days of yore?
Yeah, I'm definitely big into music. I've actually been in bands since I was probably 16. Yeah, I used to play guitar a lot, so I started off playing guitar in bands, and then I started doing some screaming and stuff because I was in some metal bands growing up.
So Phil's over here rocking the Norma Jean and the Cherry.
I know, I'm rocking like both like southern metal right here.
Double whammy.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's killer. Microphone's in the way.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Sorry. Yeah.
Product placement.
Product placement.
Hell yeah.
We should totally do that Wayne's World product placement at some point.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Wayne's World.
You know, the scene where they diss on product placement, and then like they have, I think it's Papa John's, Pepsi.
Yeah. Now I remember.
And then Garth is wearing like, he's like decked out in like Adidas or something. He's like, I just think it's a sellout, man.
Oh, dude.
So let me see. You're 30. Oh, I'm trying to think of like bands that you like probably grew up listening to that you started playing guitar or like learning guitar.
Probably all of the same bands that we listen to.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I mean, even probably harder. I'm thinking like this is gonna kill me.
You were probably
Nate,
into like...
keep talking. Nate, you talk for a while. I have to think.
I mean, I could start listing bands I used to listen to.
You used to listen to. You don't listen to them anymore?
No, man. He listens to Post Malone.
Well, I mean...
Oh, that's right. He listens to Post Malone. Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, that's all I listen to. No, I definitely still... I listen to so many genres of music now, but I was definitely more prevalent in like the heavier stuff when I was younger. But I would say...
Slipknot?
Yeah, definitely. Slipknot. When I was a teenager...
Converge. That's what I was thinking of. Converge.
Underoath, Census Fail, Silverstein, anybody in that kind of genre.
So are you a Victory Records kid? Were you like just about to say that. Like a mid 2000s Victory Records kid, like Silverstein, Hawthorne Heights?
Hawthorne Heights for sure.
I've seen them like 3 times, and I love it. I get so fucking excited.
Yeah, give me Warp Tour pretty much, and we're good.
Warp Tour 05 was probably the best year, in my opinion. I was not old enough to go, but the compilation album says everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost got to do some merch for Under Oath, but they went with a more digital route, like a more like photo manipulative route, and I was kind of sad about that. But
your work was real good, dude. I mean,
I'm still gonna print the hell out of it.
You print the hell out of it, but that was really good.
Suck it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have Chris Dudley on at some point, which would be really dope. He's our keyboard player.
That'd be awesome.
I haven't had a
but
chance
we're not gonna focus just on Under Oath. We have to talk about his compositions and his compositional work.
Dude, his synthesizer work outside of Under Oath is fantastic. Like he does like movie scores and stuff like that, like electronic like film scores and stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All the feels, just bringing back all the feels from like middle school and high school. Just sitting there, listening to They're Only Chasing
Teen Angst.
I still have it. I just turned 28, and I've just refound it in this last week.
Dude, like the CD. I love the nostalgia of all that stuff. I'm just like, let me relive all that teen angst always.
What was I doing? I was driving through Richmond last night, blasting the Misfits because it's almost Halloween. And
you have to.
What's better than cranking your car stereo to like 40 and singing along to Skulls or Horror Business? Yeah. And then pointing at random people on the street while you sing the lyric, and they're just like, "Oh my god." That's what I do because I'm nuts.
It's a great time of year.
It is a great time of year.
So if we were to ask you to put together like a Spotify playlist to include with your artist bio, would that be chill?
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a pretty spread spread list genre wise, but yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fine. We've tried to compile those for most of the people we've had on, with the exception of one. They've all followed through, and on their on our website we have like a link to their mood music. Have you? So.
Yeah. I see that you have some apparel behind you.
Yeah.
Has your work in tattooing, have you ever like transferred one of your pieces to a t-shirt or vice versa?
Yeah, that's pretty much where all the inspiration is tattoo style artwork, feel like that's just the jam right now. Because tattooing is so popular. If somebody can't, get in with me or travel far enough to, wear one of my tattoos, they can wear it on a t-shirt or a hoodie or something. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
I need to spend more money, so I'm gonna hit you up.
I'm right here. And then you don't have to pay for shipping.
What do you mean?
So do you?
I want one of his t-shirts. Not your t-shirts. I want one of his t-shirts.
How did that leap happen? Like, when did that go off in your head that you could do that?
Oh man, I've been wanting to do the clothing stuff since shortly after I started tattooing in 2010. But it's definitely expensive to, just like front that money just to get your first prints and, hope they sell. So there's always that fear of sitting on dead stock, that would just be awful if you invest that money and you just get nothing back.
How do you manage that?
Very carefully, I guess. Dead stock happens. Like it's definitely common. I don't know how people sell everything 100%, but as long as you sell enough to like keep reprinting or printing new stuff, keep it going. I mean, I haven't seen profit in the clothing business yet, but we're still doing it.
How long have you been doing it?
It's been a year and about a year and a half now, I guess.
That's awesome.
Jeez. Yeah.
Are you able to sell them at your tattoo shop, or is that conflict of interest with the other artists?
Yeah, no, I do sell the apparel at the tattoo shop.
That's awesome.
I haven't had it in there in a little while though, just because of COVID restrictions and whatnot. But I definitely plan on getting it back in there soon.
Do you have a distributor at all, or do you have any partnerships besides your the tattoo studio to get your apparel out there, or is it all just your online store?
Yeah, it's just all online store or either at our tattoo shop. It's just it's a side gig. The tattoo shop and tattooing is my full-time focus, and I always wanted to do the clothing line thing on the side, so I don't have the time to do that full time, but I definitely enjoy it. So
is it a brand? Is it just
I don't know,
Keith Kuzara?
Yeah.
Or is it what is it called?
It's called Apparition Apparel Company.
Apparition Apparel Company. How
yeah,
freaking punk is that? Oh man.
Yeah, I like
I'm pulling it up on my laptop right now.
I like scary stories, things of that nature. So
I have to look this up and go spend some more money that I don't have on your apparel. Ooh, I'm looking at something right now that's real tasty.
We got it on the computer.
I like the steaks, the railroad steaks. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, we're going through your work right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, since this will be on video, we can pull some up on screen when we drop it. Be like, hey, check that out.
So. That's the hope. We do video. We get this on
trial and error, my
trial and error.
So of the two, you've been doing tattooing for longer, but if one of the two were to like completely take off, which would you do? Probably tattooing, or would you do clothing if that could support you?
Well, tattooing for me is kind of maxed out. I can't physically tattoo, anymore past a point without burning myself out. So I'm very fortunate to where I have a large clientele base. So that's very self-sufficient. But if the clothing thing took off super heavy, I would probably just hire some people to help run it just to keep that growing, honestly.
So that you could tattoo and create full time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to quit tattooing completely. Maybe if the clothing got so big to where I was like living large off of it, I would just do, I guess just whatever tattoos I wanted to do on like friends and stuff like that, or like, the occasional client. But I probably wouldn't do it as full time, as I do.
Hashtag Keith wants a piece of your face. How about that?
Yeah.
hashtag posty. Keith wants a piece of your face.
Dude, what if I just tattoo my face on his face?
Dude, we just watched Silence of the Lambs the other night. That's not funny.
That would be hilarious. Dude, man, tattoo me and you just do his face. That's your face on his face. That'd be great.
Perfect.
Sounds like a John Travolta, Nick Cage.
A little, yeah, face off.
Face off.
Well, it is spooky season. Do you have any favorite horror movies that are your go-tos? Do you like horror movies?
A lot of people have Christmas movies.
Yeah.
What's your Halloween movie?
Because this is our Christmas. Halloween is my Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what first comes to mind is, have you ever seen Tucker and Dale versus
Yes. Yes. I try to describe that to people and they have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
That is a great dark comedy.
Yeah. Dark comedy.
He just jumped right into the wood chipper.
Damn college kids keep killing themselves.
They keep killing themselves on my property.
Hey guys, we got your friend. Oh my God, they got our friend. Like, what the hell? It's so funny. You just gotta watch it if you haven't seen it.
Officer, we've had a doozy of a day. covered in blood.
Keith's mandate from this episode: go watch Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
This will probably come out in March, but we should plug that.
It might, but why not?
Hey, it's good any time of year.
You want to? We should make a snippet of that for Halloween.
Yeah, why not?
Just extract that.
Yeah, why not? That'd be cool. Does this year get kind of crazy with like Halloween inspired tattoos or horror inspired tattoos? Is that when people normally get those, or is it just all year round? Or is it like Halloween? Like people are like, oh, I gotta get Jason. Oh, I gotta get Freddy on me.
Yeah.
I want a Michael tattoo.
So,
that'd be awesome. Michael Myers.
So we
Mike
definitely
Myers.
do.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Yes.
Okay.
Murdered his whole family except his sister. Or Dr.
Yeah,
Loomis.
we definitely do creepy tattoos, all year round. If that's somebody's style, that's somebody's style. But it's definitely more prevalent in October, I would say. So pre-COVID pandemic world that we're living in right now, yearly we would usually do like a flash event. So we would do like a bunch of little tattoo bangers that would take maybe 20 minutes each. And people, we would take walk-ins. So we would like kind of have pre-drawn designs, maybe of like jack-o'-lanterns and coffins and creepy shit like that, where people would just like walk in and kind of sign in and get tattooed as they come. So that's always been a huge hit, but obviously we can't do that this year.
Right. That's so interesting. I'm trying to ask this question, like, how is marketing and promotion in the tattoo world different from, say, like a physical product like apparel? Like, how is that different, the same, similar? Just I'm trying to think in like a business point of view. Like
right. I would say it's fairly similar in the way that if somebody, the more you get out there, the more people are going to see it. But the tattoo, somebody's wearing that every day, as opposed to where apparel, only when they wear it, people are going to see it and might ask about it, But tattoo, I mean, if it's on your arm, people are probably seeing that every day. And if they like the work, they're gonna be like, oh man, where'd you get that done? So a lot of word of mouth, a lot of social media, but I would say they're similar in marketing.
So when you first got started, Instagram wasn't really a thing to the extent that it is now. How did you market yourself before you had, tattoos all over New York?
A lot more word of mouth. So I started when I was pretty young. So I was 19. And, if I'm tattooing a bunch of kids like my own age, obviously they're going to go out, run their mouths to like their other buddies. So eventually my work just started getting into like different cities around the area.
That was probably a great age to get started then, because they're all really excited about their first handful of tattoos. And who did it? My buddy Keith.
Yeah. So that's the way it was. People, I would tattoo somebody, and then maybe I wouldn't really charge them much, and I'd be like, yo, just go like run your mouth off about your tattoo and bring a buddy in or something. Yeah. So that's pretty much how I got my first clientele there. Also, I was in a band that was doing pretty well locally, so that helped a lot because I had a little bit of a fan base. And coming from like the metalcore scene, tattoos were super, super popular and prevalent. So people were just seeing that I was tattooing, and they're like, I want to go get a tattoo, with the help of like artists like Ollie Sykes and stuff like that. Obviously everyone was like, oh, I'm going to get my throat tattooed. It looks so badass,
How,
and then they put out Sempiternal and everything changed, which is a good album. I gotta say, it is a good album.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody change so much and retain their fan base as they have. Like they're still huge.
So
they got bigger.
Yes.
I don't like the original guys that were around during the beginning. I don't know if they're there anymore. I got in during Suicide Season, and then I went back and listened to like their first EP and then their first record, which is totally different. Lot heavier than Suicide Season.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sempiternal kicked them off.
Definitely in a more to a more mainstream audience and a more out of the Warped Tour little bubble and into the mainstream and into on people's phones and on people's, which is great. And bands should all strive to do that. And
they've also had a really amazing knack for I don't know if they create the trend or if they have figured it out before it happens. Each one of their albums was like a couple years sonically ahead of their time.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I'm trying to picture like everything together.
Anyway, so Ollie's
they're really good at picking out like the best of the trends of what's going on and then putting it into one piece of art or one single album. They're really good at that. Ollie can't sing for shit, but he does it anyway, and people love him for it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good on the record, so I like it.
Yeah. I just remember them at Warped in, was it 2010, 29 in Maryland. Yeah, that was great. And on that same stage, bassist from Dillinger Escape Plan put his foot through a cab.
Nice.
I should have gone and see them.
Speaking of destroying property on stage, I wonder how much Jason Butler is insured for. Did you listen to Let Live at all before they?
I'm familiar. I didn't listen to them a whole bunch, but I've definitely seen a live show, and it's definitely nuts.
He's nuts, man. I wonder what their act is insured for, like on stage.
A lot.
Right.
They bring their own gear. None of the people or none of the venues like, you can't touch our gear. You're bringing your own. We know how you deal with your equipment.
Yeah.
Do you have to get insurance on your tattoo arm at all? Like, is that a thing in the industry?
I mean, I think you can, but I don't.
Okay.
So I try not to do things like skateboarding anymore or doing dumb shit.
Listen, kids, you can't do dumb shit forever. One day you're gonna need one of your appendages to do your work.
Yeah, and pay bills.
So
stop drinking. You might have to sell your kidney later.
That's a whole different problem.
Because I was over at one of our mutual friends' places, and there was a guy teaching you how to drink Scotch whiskey, and I turned to our friend Dwight, and I'm like, how much do you think his tongue is insured for? Because he was like the master distiller there at something in White, up in Scotland. But I'm like, the guy's tongue must be worth millions because he can taste everything. It's an art form. It's totally a fucking art form. It's crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. And
you sound like Joe Rogan.
Something I would normally think of.
Oh no, this guy's. I'm not okay. Compared to the master distiller, I'm not fucking crazy. This guy was like, if I see you put 2 glasses of ice in my scotch as a bartender, I will kill you. Just no. He's like, straight up, I will kill you.
The cardinal sin is on the rocks.
And supposedly, when you pour a first thing, like your first taste, you swish around, you throw it out. You don't actually take a sip. You pour it in, swish around, throw it out of the glass. Then you
just line the glass.
Yeah, then you pour some in. You go, hello, how do you do? Nice to meet you. He did this all on film, like all in a video. I gotta find this again, and we can send that to you. But it was fascinating.
Wow. That's hilarious.
It was fascinating how this guy thinks and processes things, and I don't know if there's how it correlates to tattooing at all, but I don't know. Do you geek out over needles and like paints and stuff like that? Like, is there like
a manufacturer comes out with a new set of needles and it's like a kid at Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, if I try something new out, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I'm always excited to get it in the mail.
Because it's like trying a new guitar pedal or like trying new strings on your guitar, because you just want to see new things. I don't know if like that happens in the if I get a new machine,
if I get a new machine or something like that comes out and everybody's raving about it or something, and I order it, that stuff's expensive, so it's definitely like Christmas because it's like a whole new feel. It's like it's like exciting to use on your next tattoo. You're like, all right, let's do this.
Are there any tattoo conventions or festivals that we should know about or our listeners should know about?
The Richmond Tattoo Festival that got canceled this fall.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of local tattoo conventions and expos. I mean, they're all over. They're all across the states. So, I mean, worldwide too, other countries. But yeah,
there's one that you've been to before that you really liked.
Yeah, I've definitely done a handful of expos.
That you would recommend?
I like going down to Jacksonville. That one's actually Jacksonville, Florida. That one's happening soon, I think.
Probably.
But yeah, I
happening?
always had fun down at the Jacksonville Tattoo Expo.
Is it still gonna go down?
Yeah, Florida's open, dude. Florida's
open.
Yeah, they're open. I left the day of them like decreasing all of their restrictions. So you don't have to wear a mask inside anymore. Yeah, no, you don't have to wear a mask inside. Good thing I left that day.
Really?
And then I saw all the AEW wrestlers in the airport. I was watching them go by. It was great.
Nice.
Advanced American Wrestling?
All Elite Wrestling. Thank you very much. TNT Wednesday nights. I'm a nerd. It's just my thing. Just my thing.
Do you hear any pieces of advice in your industry that like probably isn't the best advice, or like advice that you got given when you first got started that you followed blindly like a youth?
Well, I would say there's just a ton of different ways to approach tattooing, a ton of different techniques. Everybody's different. Like I was saying before, if what you're doing is different, but it looks good, and like it looks awesome, and it heals great, and it looks good for a long time, then whatever. I guess the older mentality, like old school mentality of tattooers coming up, would be there's maybe one way to do things. Don't fix what isn't broken. But to push things forward and move along and get better, you've got to try new things out. And yeah.
What's a piece of advice you would give to someone just starting in 2020, soon to be 2021?
Don't fucking panic.
At the time of this recording, anyway.
Yeah.
First, get a job with health insurance.
Sound advice.
Get a job with health insurance. Tattooing doesn't offer that. Being self-employed is definitely a tough route. But if you're totally dedicated to it, draw every single day of your life and find an apprenticeship. Don't try to teach yourself.
Are there any sort of industry standards for apprenticeship lengths before do you have to like take some sort of certification to do your own thing?
So that totally depends on the shop, the shop owner, the artist that's teaching, and the person that's being taught. So I don't think there's any standard or certification. I mean, there's health department certifications in a lot of counties, but as far as like when you're ready, that's all up to you and the person that's teaching you, your mentor.
Gotcha.
What did you? I mean, your first tattoo was on a friend and young company.
Yeah,
my
recommendation is not the way I started.
That's a hell of a way to start, man. I must say that's one like interesting story of how someone gets started in art.
How many like low key tattoos did you do before you started? Like, I think I need help.
I don't know. I did so many bad tattoos for like the first couple of years. It was just insane. I don't know how people kept coming back, but they did, and we're here now. So
yeah, that's wild. So stick with it, kids.
Stick with it. Yeah. And don't panic. Get health insurance.
Yeah. Stick with it, but get good tattoos. Don't get bad tattoos.
It's all going up here because I have 0 right now, and I'm trying to get 5. I was trying to get 5 for 2020.
Do your research. Make sure you pick an artist that their work looks great and you trust them.
Well, you're on, and
you want to travel to Niagara Falls and get some ink?
Why not? It's a story I can tell my kids, and they can tell their kids.
We can get matching.
Run it up.
Run it up. We're gonna get matching what?
Get matching mandalas. Like the.
Fuck that! I want a grizzly with a shark and a chainsaw.
Dude, no, you should come get underboob tattoos.
That's what I just said, and he was just like, "No."
What do I want on my underboob?
Just kidding, because that's the New Age tramp stamp. Remember?
What should Phil get on his underboob?
Huh?
I could do a chainsaw. That'd be cool. I'd do a chainsaw.
Like an underboob chainsaw, just ripping in your flesh.
Right there, or something, or right here, or like a cleaver, maybe just a cleaver somewhere. I don't know.
Perfect, dude. Weapon tattoos.
I'm
That's
thinking
where it's
something
at.
like simple yet elegant that shows my personality.
Underboob.
Yeah, like lots of blood and skin rip and perfect. Got it.
How much do you have to research like the body before you do like a skin rip tattoo? Have you ever like had to tattoo the anatomy that's under the tattoo?
Yeah, so I just like would commit a murder real quick and just rip someone open, take a picture, and just tattoo it as is. No, I guess just
Coming up on Dateline.
yeah, I guess I would just look at other references. I mean, I've done a bunch of skin rip tattoos, but yeah, I guess it's all about just finding a good reference photo
Of actual skin rip.
Yeah, maybe not so much, but
dude, so there's this watercolor artist I follow on Instagram, and she does a lot of like anatomical drawings. Not Caitlin, I forget her name.
Caroline,
yeah, not Caroline, I forget her name.
Caroline does some crazy good stuff.
Oh my god,
Keith, I mean, just like not to
we'll send you her
toot
way.
someone's horn, but this girl does some great anatomically grotesque. Like if you want some inspiration, she's one of the best.
She's done shirts for Pig Destroyer in her
artist.
But this girl tagged a medical doctor with an Instagram as like inspiration or like reference pictures, and I pulled up his page, and it was like the most disgusting like mid-surgery pictures I think I've ever seen. Like there was
nice. That's gnarly.
Yeah, I might have to ask her like to send me it again because it's like gross, but you can't pull your eyes away. Like there's this dude, it was his fingers and it looked like the Swiss cheese man, not the string cheese dude, like from the string cheese.
Yeah.
And apparently he'd like lost a fight with a meat processor like that you'd slice meat with.
There wasn't a fight to begin with.
Yeah, no.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Yep. Speaking of insurance on your hand.
Yeah.
Well, Keith, we'd like to be respectful of your evening. But I could talk for hours on art and tattoo, and we might have to have a second conversation on the apparel and dig into like that business side and see what it looks like to be like an artist and a business person, because I feel like that's a comparison that doesn't get made a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to talk more about your favorite Creed moments. We'll have an whole episode on just our favorite Creed moments.
Sounds good. Yeah, you'll have to watch all of it so I don't
ruin anything.
Yeah.
I always hear that he's the Scranton Strangler. Is that a thing?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, or like something about like Scranton something like.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, we'll save that for another time.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, I guess I can take this one. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, Keith. This has been really fun.
Kuzara.
Keith Kuzara, everyone, up in Niagara Falls. Tattoo artist, office lover, apparel designer. Check him out on all the things we'll put in this video that has all your information.
Perfect.
Should the video pull through, we'll have links to everything.
Yeah, we'll have links, and we'll go bing, 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 bing.
You know, right up up there as the YouTubers do.
Somewhere around there.
Yes. And you never know, I may be coming up to your shop sometime. But I'll definitely send you an email and then fill out the form.
Right after your pottery class.
Sounds good.
Right after my pottery class. Oh, I signed myself up for a pottery class.
Nice.
And he's going to film the whole thing. It's going to be great.
Well, thanks again, Keith. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Stay creative, man. Stay safe.
Everyone stay hungry, stay creative, stay safe. Thanks for listening.